delightful craft cocktail. Experience the family-friendly
Live from Studio 6 in downtown Wenatchee, Studio 5 being remodeled. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It's Friday, 5th day of November, 2023. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host. It is a foggy, cloudy morning. As you can see behind me, that's our Omi Garden camera, because the cross camera is currently clouded over. We're going to show you those cameras in just a little bit. Lots of dense fog, low-lying fog. It's already beginning to lift a little bit, as you can see behind me. But out in the Columbia Basin, we're told it's very dense fog. It will burn off. We'll have some sunshine, and then that's going to be replaced with another significant bunch of rain overnight tonight till about noon on Saturday, and then we dry out again, and then another rain system comes in. We're going to be pretty wet. Today is the day to avoid the rain if you want to avoid the rain. In fact, we'll even have some sunshine and slightly warmer temperatures, and then lots of clouds and lots of wet stuff right into the early part of next week. And of course, don't forget, daylight saving time comes to an end. We go back to standard time. Changing the clocks. Don't get me started. Anyway, 2 o'clock on Sunday morning, we do it all again. It'll be 2 o'clock on Sunday morning. Heads up on that. I think you know that by now. Everything else that we do so well around here, or just do anyway, we'll have for you on this Friday. In the back half of the program, live right here in this studio, the musical director and the conductor of the Wenatchee Valley Symphony Orchestra will be joining me. I haven't seen Nicholas in a long time. Nicholas Cooley will be joining me. They have a great show at the America Performing Arts Center tomorrow night. Not too late to get your tickets. Love the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. We were so lucky to have them. Nicholas will be joining me in the back half of the program. And at 2 minutes after the hour and 37 degrees, here we go. We got low clouds and fog. There's only so much we can see. That is the actual shot from the Wenatchee Heights camera. You can see that little spot in the lower left-hand corner. That's the reflection of the cross off the fog and the clouds. You just can't really see much of anything. But again, it will start to burn off as the day progresses, and by mid-morning we'll have some sunshine. We just got to get there. And because the low clouds and fog, we got the Cascadian for you, and even that is not showing a great deal. Boy, this is a good idea of what I was just talking about, a good example. Not 10 minutes ago when we went up and showed that camera as Uriah and I were getting ready for the show, you couldn't really even see anything there at all. Now you can at least see that, so it is starting to burn off a little bit. That's from the roof of the Cascadian pointed south on the avenue in downtown Wenatchee. The Omi Garden camera is looking pretty good. There you go. Burning off rather rapidly now. You can actually see the cross across the way, and that's a perfect example. Again, what we just showed you. You do the cross angle, which isn't, about 180 degrees of what we're looking at there. You can't see anything, but you flip it around for the Omi Garden camera, and you have quite a nice view. Sunrise this morning, 7:47. Sunset tonight, 5:41. That's 9 hours and 54 minutes of daylight. We hit 45 yesterday. Our normal Thursday high should have been 50. We've now had 10 consecutive days of our high temperature not getting to where it should be. That may end today. And finally, up to Billy Goat. This could look pretty good. Look at that. Like being in an airplane. Little whiffs of snow on the mountains above, high above Billy Goat. This is a high camera. It's 4,300 feet above sea level, over a mile above sea level. Somewhere down there is Tenasket and Pateros and Brewster and Riverside and Bridgeport and Omak and Okanagan. Sun's coming up there as well. That's an unbelievable view there, but that's an idea of the low clouds and fog up in the Omak Okanagan area. But again, that'll burn off as well. Did I mention it's foggy? It is starting to burn off in the valley. Other locations, really not so much. Between Moses Lake and Ephrata and that area there is some very dense fog. The fog is already beginning to burn off quite a bit. It's not very fun to drive when you can't see where you are going. So it is foggy, it is cloudy, it will burn off. If you gotta head out on the area highways, especially out in the Columbia Basin, and you got some time, you might want to wait an hour or so, let the sun get up there, let it burn off the clouds and the fog, and dry us out a little bit, then you can see where you're going. And of course, having the sun out will help a great deal too. But yeah, pretty dense fog in many locations in our viewing area. From the National Weather Service, a dry day today. The low clouds and the fog will burn off. We'll have partly sunny skies. We'll get up to about 50, which is exactly normal. So that cold snap is about ready to come to an end. And then here comes the rain, as the Mavericks once sang. About midnight to about noon, that 12-hour period, midnight tonight to noon on Saturday, it is going to rain quite a bit. Pretty steady, consistent rain, not heavy douses of rain, just light rain, but nonstop light rain. With an overnight low of about 43, the rain should be tapering off on Saturday. We will be dry, it looks like, for the football game late tomorrow afternoon between the Wildcats and the Bombers. We like that. Chance of rain Saturday night, not much. Again, we should be dry. Overnight low of about 41. Then we have about a 40% chance of afternoon rain on Sunday and a high of 55. More rain, excellent chance of rain Sunday night into Monday. It tapers off Monday. More rain Monday night into Tuesday. So all of these individual rain events that you see graphically representative, almost all of these are going to be the overnight hours. It's going to rain overnight tonight into Saturday about noon, and then overnight Sunday night into Monday about noon, and then overnight Monday night into Tuesday about noon. That's just the way the pattern is, but it will be wet after today. But quite a bit of rain overnight tonight. Going to be a soggy Saturday. All right, that's the forecast. It's 6 minutes after the hour. What made news on Thursday? We'll let you know. It's next. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Hi, this is Frank Kuntz, Mayor of the City of Wenatchee. Mike Poyer will make a great mayor. Mike is consistent, he's thoughtful, he shows up, he's prepared, and he always gets to the right answer. Mike just loves this town. He was born and raised here. He has a passion for making this place better, as we all do. And it's been a pleasure working with him on the Wenatchee City Council for the past 4 years, and I just look forward to having him lead our city going forward. So join me in voting for Mike Poyer, Mayor.
At Confluence Health, our mission is clear: to provide exceptional care for our community. We believe in healthcare that's personal and local because we're just like you, members of this great community.
We are Confluence.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
We are Confluence.
It's the music that revolutionized the sound of Christmas. Mannheim Steamroller Christmas by Chip Davis. Celebrating the holiday spirit for over 35 years. Don't miss this holiday extravaganza. Mannheim Steamroller Christmas by Chip Davis. America's favorite Christmas tradition.
Get above the low clouds and the fog, and it's clear skies. It'll be burning off. We're 37 degrees. We'll be about 50 with bountiful sunshine. Significant rain from midnight tonight till about noon on Saturday. We dry off Saturday. More rain Saturday night into Sunday. A very wet weather pattern begins later on today. It's 8 minutes after the hour. Police say a Rock Island man facing arrest for alleged drug offenses and violating a court order rammed multiple police vehicles on Wednesday while trying to avoid arrest. Columbia River Drug Task Force detectives were trying to serve a warrant on 37-year-old Stephen A. Erland when he allegedly tried to drive away, smashing into 2 police vehicles. He's accused of then trying to flee on foot. Officers caught him. Didn't take him a great effort to do it. Police say inside Erland's vehicle they found an e-bike reported stolen from Leavenworth, a pistol-gripped shotgun, an AR-15 rifle, approximately 1,000 fentanyl pills, plus psilocybin mushrooms. Erland remains held in Chelan County Jail. Last we checked, he is yet to be charged. Douglas County elections officials opening an additional in-person Help You Out kind of service center. It's going to be on Election Day in East Wenatchee. It'll be operating out of the Douglas County Public Services Building. That's at the bottom of 19th Street on Election Day, November 7th. So if you want to go there, and you can in Douglas County, you can register to vote, you can update your voting information, you can get a ballot, you can gain access to voting devices, and there'll be staff there to answer your questions. It's a temporary center just on Election Day. Of course, you can also head up to that building, the Douglas County Courthouse in Waterville, if you so desire. The special center on Election Day will be open from 8:30 in the morning till 8 o'clock on Election Day. And of course, completed ballots can be returned and dropped off at those official areas or your drop box location. Beginning in the 2024-2025 academic school year, 6th grade students are going to be taught at St. Joseph's Catholic School. The school announcing yesterday that the Bishop of the Diocese of Yakima, Bishop Joseph Tyson, has green-lighted the addition of 6th grade. The school also plans to add 7th and 8th grades over the next 2 consecutive years. St. Joseph's currently instructs preschool to 5th grade. And the Director of Advancement, Wendy Flanagan, said in a press release that after this edition, she hopes that it will eventually become a Catholic high school. St. Joseph's Catholic School has been operating here in the Valley since 1955. The Wenatchee Valley Chamber of Commerce, it's that time of the year again, accepting nominations for Business of the Year and Nonprofit of the Year. Last year's award recipients, the Yogi Grind and the Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center. Nominations are due by Monday, November 27th, then they'll be processed through a nomination committee. Nominations can be made by visiting Wenatchee.org. Click on the Nominate Here button. The winners will be announced at the 2024 Wenatchee Valley Chamber of Commerce Annual Banquet, which I believe is held sometime in March. Candles continue to burn on altars for the next couple of days. Dia de los Muertos is going on. Of course, the Day of the Dead is being celebrated in the Valley. The holiday began a couple of days ago. People and organizations around the Wenatchee Valley taking time to remember those that they lost, and of course to learn and connect with Mexican culture. Wenatchee Valley College held a lunchtime party. They had snacks, crafts, and a performance. Organizer Roberta Villa spoke about the event as a special experience for students at the college.
This event goes back to, I think, a couple years ago. It was brought by a student club, which is known as MECHA, which is the Movimiento Estudiantil Chicano Aztlán. They started it, and then little by little, the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Coordinator took over and put it on for students, just so there brings cultural awareness of Dia de los Muertos, not only from Mexico, but from different parts of Latin America. I feel like it's a learning experience for them. We do offer this to a lot of students, faculty, and staff. This year, we had a lot of them participate by bringing in photos from family members that have passed away, and they've built their own altares, which is really an amazing experience for them.
And then a few hours later, it was time for the coats and the hot chocolate and the coffee and Pinnacles Prep. And Parque Padrinos teamed up for a community altar walk in South Wenatchee. It's the 4th year of this event as Parque Padrinos aims to bring tradition to the people who live right here.
One of the reasons why Parque Padrinos wanted to do this event was to bring part of our culture to our neighborhood, because it is a neighborhood with a lot of Hispanics. So we wanted to make sure that we were bringing some of that cultural tradition for the youth to learn about, and also for our older community to make it feel like back home. I actually didn't start really taking part of it until 3 years ago, when I lost 2 family members within like a week span. So then that following Day of the Dead is when I was like, I'm gonna finally start one, and it'll be my 3rd year doing an ofrenda, and I just love getting like the kids involved, having my son involved, having my nephew involved, my nieces, and they're learning something that we didn't do as kids because our parents were here in the U.S. now, so they kind of were focused on other things. So I just love that I feel like I'm getting a little bit of that back, and I'm learning about it just as the future generations are.
And now you're in the loop on this Friday morning. We will have the news, of course, for you tonight at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock on TV, or as we like to say in the business, television. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock tonight. If that doesn't work in your schedule, our news will be up and posted on our homepage, ncwlife.com, on our Facebook page, and on our YouTube page. And if you have a news tip, feel free to send us an email. Folks, love to hear from you. News at ncwlife.com. Great matchup last night at Leap-Off to Field at the Apple Bowl between the Panthers and the Wildcats for the District 6 4A Championship, and one of the last 16 teams standing in the state tournament. Highlights and a whole bunch of sports is next. You're watching a Friday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you're calling on 35 plus years of experience in the Wenatchee Valley. Spending extra time in your home, you may have discovered an unwanted aroma. Stinky feet, pets, who knows what. Call Dick's today about installing their Train Clean Effects electronic air cleaner or a Rheem Halo ultraviolet air purifier. Either way, the air quality in your home will be improved. Proudly servicing all of North Central Washington, call 884-6444 today.
Crystal's Intimate Lounge in downtown Leavenworth is a wonderful place to enjoy mouth-watering appetizers and drinks while socializing, watching sports, playing bingo, pull tabs, or simply relaxing while enjoying the breathtaking mountain views. Crystal's family-friendly restaurant has a warm environment to enhance your dining experience, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Crystal's restaurant, lounge, and event space is located 2 blocks west of downtown Leavenworth on Highway 2.
In today's environment, risk management assessment is a crucial process for your business. Risk assessment will identify, evaluate, and mitigate hazards. Don't let risk impact your business income, reputation, operations, and your overall success. We can give you peace of mind by transferring your business risks to the insurance providers. Call Stacy at August Edge Insurance today to schedule a risk management assessment for your business.
16 minutes after the hour, the Wenatchee Panther girls soccer team for the second year in a row, the District 6 4A champions. They beat Eastmont. Leap off the field of the Apple Bowl last night, 2-1. No goals in the first half, and then Natalie Bowles snuck one into the back of the net. That gave the Panthers a 1-0 lead in the 49th minute. Logan Gross-Didier put Wenatchee up 2-0 6 minutes later. Eastmont's Jessica Ramirez countered in the 59th minute. That was the scoring. Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wisen put the call on our Facebook page.
Personal maneuver, looking for some help. A bit of a collision there. Let's see what the referee calls it. She calls it an Eastmont foul, I think. No, what's going on? A goal?
Calling it a goal, I believe.
Calling it a goal.
Some incident. I don't know. The two players from Wenatchee and Eastmont collided there at the top of the box. I think they both kind of ran into each other harmlessly.
Oh my goodness gracious! That has to be the most random goal we've seen all season. A good triangulation ends up at Sanchez Blanco's feet. Battling for it is Logan Gross-Didier, and I do mean battling the shot. Goal, 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 goal! Logan Gross-Didier for the Wenatchee Panthers. A masterful strike, Matt Wisen. What a beaut.
I'm speechless. That was a stunner. Such a great shot. I mean, yeah, nothing you can do as your keeper there. I mean, bending it into that back post up in the top 90. Beautiful shot.
On the counter now. Touch to the side, into the box. The shot. Go, 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 go! Jessica Ramirez for the Eastmont Wildcats. Magnuson, the long ball.
We're 2 minutes into extra time now.
And there's the whistle that says that in the Big 9, Wenatchee is second to none. The final score, a very entertaining 2-1 victory for the Panthers over their arch rivals from across the river.
A lot of us have been playing together since we were young, so it's always a big rivalry, and we've all been together since freshman year playing against each other, so it's always a good game.
All right. Now, what year are you?
I'm a senior.
You're a senior?
Yeah.
Okay, so you are 2 times champion now? Yeah. 2-time champion? What makes this one special?
Senior year. I mean, we get to go as the first seed to state for our league, so hopefully we have a better chance of going farther than the first round.
Looking back, what brought you to this point?
The girls. I mean, they've fought all year long. It's a strong team led by Piper, and Giselle and Natalie are our captains, all 3 of them, and I thought all 3 were integral in today's game for sure. Their leadership all season long, the whole senior class's leadership, and the experience from last year certainly paid off.
So the Panthers punched their ticket to state. It's not a ticket, it's just a phrase, it's a euphemism. So Wenatchee goes on to the state tournament. Eastmont's not done yet. They will host Eisenhower Saturday, 1 o'clock for a last chance to state after the cadets knocked off West Valley last night. 1-0. In other crossover games tomorrow, District 6 and 7 will meet with St. George's playing at Okanagan at 2 in soccer. Brewster visits Northwest Christian in Colbert. I don't know where that is. That's at 3. Tenaska and Davenport play a seeding game for state at 3 at Gonzaga Prep. And the District 6-7 crossover games for the 1As. Cascade is at Lakeside 9 Mile Falls at 11 a.m. and Cashmere will host Deer Park at 1. In football, Davis and West Valley ended their seasons on losing notes last night. The Pirates fought hard, but they lost to Hanford 24-22. West Valley was shut out by Meade 30-0. In football, Eisenhower will host Lewis and Clark tonight at 6 o'clock. Moses Lake will entertain Chiawana at 7. Sunnyside is at Gonzaga Prep. The Panthers are at Lamson Stadium in Kennewick against 12th-ranked Kamiakin. Coach Scott Devereaux knows his team will have to play its best football in order to win this one.
We got to play our best game we've ever played this season. You know, we haven't truly played a full 4 quarters this year. This is the time to do it. You know, if we can keep it close late in the game, then anything can happen. You know, this is a team that can put up points really fast, and it's also a team we've seen struggle in film and throw multiple interceptions and things like that. So we have to take advantage of the opportunity when we get it and keep it tight. And, you know, if we play our best football, we can walk off the field no matter what the scoreboard says and say, hey, we played our best game of the year, and that's the way it is.
As you probably know by now, in an exclusive interview last week, Coach Devereaux announced that he would be stepping down as the head football coach of the Panthers at the end of the season. Jack Flugie says that makes tonight's game all that more special.
It means a lot. I mean, Coach Dev's been here. He's probably one of my closest friends in the high school. I hang out with him over lunch. I'll go into his class randomly, and he just lets me because, like, I honestly have no idea why, but he does. And just knowing we're the last team he's going to coach as a head coach is kind of crazy and it puts pressure, but it's not a bad kind of pressure. It's not the kind of pressure that makes you want to just not do it. It's the kind that gives you motivation, knowing, like, this is his last go-to. You want to give it everything you got so he doesn't go out looking like an idiot. You want to make him look good and have him end on a good one so he doesn't second-guess himself.
Wenatchee and Kamiakin tonight, 7 o'clock. In the meantime, it's Eastmont and Richland tomorrow afternoon in East Wenatchee. It's a crossover game. Of course, this is a rematch of last year when the Bombers knocked the Wildcats out of the playoffs. We will have the game live right here on the NCAA Live channel. We'll get our pregame going with Grant Brennan and Eric at 3:30. Coach Michael Don says they've been figuring out how to contain Josh Woodard. He's a quarterback at Richland, and he's good.
No, they can sling it, and they take their shots down the field. They got some guys who can go up and get the ball. They got a few receivers, and all 3 of them have had 100+ yard games. So it's not like 1 or 2. They've got a lot of guys that make a lot of plays, and you know, he is a super good athletic kid. And he throws the ball well. He extends plays, and he's fun to watch. Not a lot of fun to prep for, but you know, we'll do the best we can.
Eric had a chance to talk to Eastmont's senior defensive backs who had a great game last week. If you watched it, you remember they intercepted Moses Lake's quarterback 4 times.
Joseph Lisson, we've got Matthew Bender, and we've got Tyson Moore joining us here. So let's talk first of all about last week in Moses Lake and picking off that guy half as many times as he had all season long. How did that feel?
Felt really good. It was my first 2 picks of the season, so it felt nice to get on the board there.
So you waited until the perfect time to have it, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So you guys get the Big 9 championship. You beat Moses Lake. You stay undefeated, which means more.
The Big 9 championship, back-to-back. It really means a lot for us. We worked really hard for that.
Okay. You go from one quarterback who's outstanding to another quarterback who might be even better. Talk about getting ready for this guy this week.
Well, I mean, we're kind of seeing the same thing. He's going to panic when our D-line gets there, and then he's going to throw it up. And then that's where we get our picks.
Yeah. Well, and that's something we just talked to your coach about is complementary football. It takes the guys up front to help you guys on the backside, right?
Oh, yeah, it helps a lot for sure. Having 3 guys being able to rush the quarterback and drop a lot of, like, 8 other guys, it's awesome. He doesn't know what he's looking at, so he throws us the ball.
Again, if you can't make it to the football field, and we always invite people, go to the game. If you can, we will have it for you at 3:30 with the pregame 4 o'clock kickoff tomorrow at Wildcat Stadium. All right, Grandview ended its CWAC season with a loss to North Central last night. The rest of the conference plays their crossover games tonight. It's East Valley of Yakima hosting East Valley of Spokane. Now, be confused. Sela plays at Pullman at 6. Prosser is at West Valley of Spokane. Ellensburg will host Shadle Park with a trip to state on the line at 7 o'clock. In the District 6 and 7 1A schools, they'll meet tonight and tomorrow. Kashmir will host Newport tonight at 6. Chelan visits Lakeside at 9 Mile Falls. 7 o'clock kickoffs. Deer Park at Omak, Quincy at Freeman. Cascade, by the way, will end their season at home tomorrow at 1 against Medical Lake. For the 2Bs, Okanagan will host Lind, Ritzville, Sprague, England, Dan, and John Ford Coley. That's a game today, this afternoon at 4, as a matter of fact. Reardon visits Brewster at 6, and Lake Roosevelt is in Colbert to play Northwest Christian. Tenaska visits Colfax tomorrow at 11 a.m., and Manson will play at Asotin at 2. The 1Bs start at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Pateros is at Columbia Stevens. Elmira, Cooley, Heartline, Simon, and Garfunkel will host Waterville, Mansfield tonight at 7. And Saturday's game has Aniat at Touchy, and Liberty Bell will host Republic at 3. 3 teams punched their tickets to the State 1B volleyball tournament last night. At Wenatchee High School, Soap Lake ended Wilson Creek's season 3-1. Waterville Mansfield earns the number 1 seed in District 6 by sweeping 3 sets from Aniat, and the Tigers will be the number 2 seed headed to state. Wenatchee will host the District 6 4A tournament tomorrow. The Panthers will take on West Valley for the championship. That's at 12 noon. Moses Lake will take on Davis in a loser-out match at the same time in the small gym. Then the winner between the Mavericks and the Pirates plays the loser between the Panthers and the Rams at 2 o'clock for one more shot to make it to state. Ellensburg will host the District 5 and 6 2A tournament tomorrow. Bulldogs will take on Ephrata for the championship at 2 o'clock. Prosser and Sela play a loser-out match at 4. Then the loser between Ephrata and Ellensburg plays the winner of Prosser and Sela for one last chance at state at 6 o'clock. Crossover games to determine the State 1A participants tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Kashmir visits Lakeside at a 9 Mile Falls. Chelan will host Deer Park in the other crossover at 3 o'clock. The District 6 and 7 2B crossover games will be played at Omak and Meade. Okanagan will take on Northwest Christian at 2. That will be followed by Manson and Jenkins out of Chewelah at 3:30. Brewster will take on Liberty. Spangle at 3, followed by Lake Roosevelt and Lind, Ritzville, Sprague at 4:30. Pasco is the site for the state cross-country championships on Saturday. Wow, it's already state. 1,871 athletes will compete in 12 categories and classifications. It's at the Sun Willows Golf Course, so don't get a tee time. It ain't going to be happening. Following an opening ceremony at 9, they will hit the course at 9:30. Wenatchee Wild have a couple of British Columbia teams in town this weekend. The Vancouver Giants, they pay a visit tonight at the Town Toyota Center at 7 o'clock. Probably be an American night. The Victoria Royals, 6 o'clock tomorrow. Tickets at WenatcheeWildHockey.com. The Kraken picked up their second win in a row last night. They beat Nashville 4-2. Predators lighting the lamp first, then Seattle countered with goals by Oliver Borkstein and Jared McCann. Nashville tied things up, but the Kraken countered with 2 more goals in the victory. Philip Grubauer, 32 of 34 stops. That's good. Seattle remains home tomorrow night. They host Calgary at 7 o'clock on Root Sports Northwest. Local college football teams. Oh, let me tell you about the football. Eastern Washington will host Cal Poly San Luis Obispo at 1 o'clock. That's on ESPN Plus. I don't have it. 5th-ranked Washington plays 20th-ranked Southern Cal. That's in Los Angeles, 4:30 on the American Broadcasting Company. And the Cougars are trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. The Cardinal are in town, 6 o'clock at Martin Stadium on the Pac-12 Network. And the Seahawks are in Baltimore to take on the Ravens on Sunday. Seattle is 5-2, Baltimore 6-2. Both teams lead their divisions. Of course, as you know by now, the Seahawks added defensive tackle Leonard Williams this week in a trade with the Giants. Williams says he knows all about Pete Carroll since he went to USC.
I mean, I knew about Pete even before going to USC. I obviously didn't get a chance to play for him at my time there, but, you know, that's somebody that, you know, the whole, you know, college organization, everything like that at USC respects and loves him and talks about him. And, you know, I actually heard that he was looking at me for the last, you know, however long. And he was just saying that he's excited that it, you know, finally happened. And I'm excited as well.
Seahawks and the Ravens, 10 o'clock at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland on the Columbia Broadcasting System. And those are just some of the games that people are playing at 29 minutes after the hour. I can't think of a better obscure holiday than National Sandwich Day. Everybody has a favorite sandwich. Of course, the sandwich comes after the John Montagu, the 4th Earl of Sandwich. He was a big fat guy who liked to sit at the card table and gamble a lot. And when you gamble a lot, you don't have time to eat. So John Montagu, the 4th Earl of Sandwich, told his servants, grab a piece of meat, bring it, put it between 2 pieces of bread and bring it to me so I could eat with one hand and gamble with the other. And that's how we came up with the sandwich. Courtesy of the World Wide Web, the internet, so you know it's true, these are the top 10 American sandwiches by popularity, either served to you at a restaurant or a cafe or made at home. The top 10 American sandwiches. Number 10, the roast beef sandwich. Number 9, the Cuban. Number 8, the po' boy. Number 7, the good old-fashioned club sandwich. The 6th most popular sandwich is the lobster roll. That sounds really good about now. Number 9, the Philadelphia cheesesteak. You've got to get the real deal. Got to go to Philadelphia to get that one. Number 4, the submarine sandwich. The 3rd most popular sandwich in America is the Reuben sandwich. The 2nd most popular sandwich in America is the good old BLT. And the most popular sandwich in America, the grilled cheese sandwich. Enjoy a sandwich today. It's your day today. Thanks, John. Appreciate it. It's 30 minutes after the hour. Today in history, we're doing presidential elections this time of the year. William Howard Taft was elected as the 27th President of the United States on this date in 1908. Easily defeated William Jennings Bryan of Nebraska. 321 electoral votes for Taft. William Jennings Bryan got 162. Taft won all 39 counties in our state, easily won Chelan County, easily won Douglas County. But here's the interesting thing about the election of 1908. More people voted, for the only time, more people voted in Douglas County than in Chelan County. Now think about it. Wait a minute, 1908, wasn't Chelan County bigger than Douglas County? And it was, like it is now. About twice as many people live in Chelan County than Douglas County. How could that be? How could there be more people voting in Douglas than in Chelan County in the 1908 election? There was an influenza outbreak in Wenatchee, the population center, of course, of Chelan County. A lot of people were sick. They didn't go to the polls. So for the first and only time, more people voted in Douglas County than in Chelan County in the election of 1908. The election of 1936, pretty much, I know this was easy for FDR. He creamed Alf Landon of Kansas. In fact, he won every state FDR did except Maine and Vermont. 523 electoral votes for FDR, 8 for Alf Landon. 523 electoral votes. That's 98.49% of all the electoral votes available. That is the all-time record. That's impressive. And FDR won 67% of the vote in Washington State, the best showing ever by a Democrat. And FDR easily won Chelan and Douglas County, 60% of the vote in Chelan County, 66% of the vote in Douglas County, the election of 1936. The election of 1964, Democrat Lyndon Johnson defeats Barry Goldwater to win a 4-year term in his own right. 61.1% of the popular vote for Lyndon Johnson is still the all-time record. There, 486 electoral votes. Goldwater got 52. This is the most recent presidential election, the 1964 election, in which the Democratic nominee won both Chelan and Douglas counties. Lyndon Johnson won both counties, by the way, in a landslide in 64. 1992, 31 years ago today, Bill Clinton, the Democrat out of Arkansas, defeated the incumbent, George Herbert Walker Bush, and H. Ross Perot to be elected the 42nd President of the United States. Bush easily won both Chelan and Douglas counties, as you might imagine. Ross Perot did very good. He got 20% of the vote in Chelan County and 21% of the vote in Douglas County. 3 years ago, November 3rd, 2020, of course, Joseph R. Biden of Delaware defeats President Donald Trump of Florida, is elected the 46th President of the United States. 306 electoral votes for Joe Biden, 232 for Donald Trump. Donald Trump easily carried both Chelan and Douglas counties, 52% of the vote for Trump in Chelan County, 60% in Douglas County. Joseph Biden won the city of Wenatchee. In all the precincts that make up the city of Wenatchee, Joe Biden beat Donald Trump by 67 votes. When we did that story, I remember 3 years ago, people were like, what? It's true. By the way, the highest voter turnout of eligible voters since 1900. Pretty impressive. A lot of people turned out for the election of 3 years ago. Finally, 2 non-presidential election items of business, and this still absolutely blows me away. It was on this date in 1934 that they announced who the American League MVP is for the year 1934. Lou Gehrig won the Triple Crown for all of Major League Baseball. Lou Gehrig had one of the greatest seasons of any player in the history of baseball. He batted .363, he hit 49 home runs, drove in 165 RBIs, won the Triple Crown, not just for the American League, but for all of Major League Baseball. Mickey Cochran, the catcher for the Philadelphia A's, batted .320, had 2 home runs, and 75 RBIs. So who do the sports writers vote as the 1934 American League MVP? Mickey Cochran. Lou Gehrig finished 5th. 5th. The guy won the Triple Crown. He finished 5th. And then the same thing happened 8 years later with Ted Williams in 1942. They announced the winner of the American League Most Valuable Player. Ted Williams won the Triple Crown in Major League Baseball in 1942. He batted .356, 36 home runs, 137 RBIs. A great season for Ted Williams. Joe Gordon of the New York Yankees, he had an okay year, but he led the league in strikeouts, grounded to double plays and errors. And who do the sports writers vote for the 1942 MVP? Do they vote for Joe Gordon, or do they vote for Triple Crown winner Ted Williams? Joe Gordon got it. I don't know. Let's move on. There it is. Yankee infielder is the surprise choice. How Lou Gehrig and Ted Williams were not voted the 1934 and 1942 American League MVP is beyond me. I don't know. They wouldn't do that anymore. Birthdays. Baseball legend Bob Feller. The heater from Van Meter. He was from Van Meter, Iowa, one of the fastest fastballs ever. 18-year Major League career, and he served his country with distinction for 4 years in World War II. Still was elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame. The old joke about Bob Feller is that he autographed so many baseballs. At one point in the 1980s, it was harder to find a baseball that wasn't autographed by Bob Feller. Ted Williams and Joe DiMaggio consider Bob Feller the greatest pitcher they ever faced. That's good enough for me, the great Bob Feller, born on this date 105 years ago today. Still to come, Mike McNaughty has got an opinion, and it's time to talk about the Wenatchee Valley Symphony Orchestra, the musical conductor, and the musical director, Nicholas Coley, I hope is waiting in the green room. But first, special thanks to our friends at Alpine Air, platinum sponsor. Alpine Air for everybody and everything here at the NCW Live Channel for heat and air. Call Alpine Air. Mike McNaughty's opinion is next. You're watching a Friday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live Channel.
Bienvenido al Centro de Resolución de Conflictos. Brindamos servicios a los condados de Grant y Adams, ayudando a empresas y personas a resolver problemas difíciles. Ofrecemos ayuda con conflictos de trabajo, problemas residenciales y asuntos familiares. Podemos capacitar a su personal en habilidades de prevención y resolución de conflictos. Llámenos al 509-237-3705 para obtener más información.
Happy fall, Wenatchee Valley. Collins Fashions has your fall fashion necessities. Cozy sweaters, jackets, vests, and coats. Jeans and skinny, slim, regular, and boot cut from Jag, cut, French dressing, and Liverpool. Sparkly blazers and tops for holiday special occasions. Comfy PJ salvage and tribal. Sleepwear and robes make great gifts. Brighton has designed gorgeous olive and chili pepper handbags. New Apple Watch bands are in and will not last long. Come see us at Collins, where fun meets fashion in downtown Wenatchee.
At Washington Trust Bank, can't is a 4-letter word.
I think I'll sell my veggies at the market.
Do you even remember to water the house plants?
I do this? You can do this.
Hey, we need to build a home office. We're adding another bathroom.
I think I'll study programming.
Bro, you even connect your phone to Bluetooth.
We believe you can do whatever you set your mind to, and we'll help you get there. Washington Trust Bank, privately owned, locally invested.
Get your favorite beverage and a wide variety of food choices all under one big roof at the Tap Room in Pybus. The Tap Room has the most popular choices for lunch and dinner in the valley. With unique appetizers, salads, sandwiches, and tasty rice bowls, everybody will find a new favorite dish. Plus many craft beers from Hellbent Brewing, or you can choose wine, cider, or a delightful craft cocktail. Experience the family-friendly Tap Room at Pybus for yourself. It's just what you've been looking for.
Okay, hey, this is Mike, Mad Doug McNaughty, and everybody is entitled to my opinion.
Now, Liz Cheney, whether you like her or not, that woman is an inspiring example of the courage it takes to do what's right, even when it costs you personally. She has spoken the truth in calling out Donald Trump as a threat to the democracy of this republic. And yes, he is. And her voting to impeach Donald Trump, which went against the grain of the Republican Party, which she says has become a cult of personality, and her action was heroic. Now, we need more people like her on both sides of the political spectrum. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Castle Rock International is the Northwest's premier real estate agency for large acreage properties, farms and ranch land, lodging and resorts, waterfront properties, and commercial real estate. Professional, knowledgeable, and discreet, award-winning Castle Rock International has the listings and the highly qualified buyers you have been looking for. Contact John McNamara at Castle Rock International today, or visit their website for more information about this outstanding local company.
Winter is a great time to trade in your current hot tub. Turn your old hot tub into money with Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa's trade-in program. You can save $500 to $1,000 off of any new artesian spa or take advantage of a free Bluetooth music experience. Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa recommends draining your hot tub every 3 months. Ask us about our drain and refill special. Stop on by Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa today.
Hey, hon, would you run this around to the wash rack?
Oh, okay.
Hey, hon, what happened?
They shrunk the truck.
The all-new midsize Canyon is now available at Sangster Motors.
And we are back. One of the crown jewels of the Wenatchee Valley is the Wenatchee Valley Symphony Orchestra. They have a great show tomorrow night. I don't know if you're going to be able to get tickets. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. When he's not working down at Central Washington University or playing the piano or three-putting some of the finer golf courses here in North Central Washington, Nicholas Cooley is the musical director and conductor of the Wenatchee Valley Symphony Orchestra. He's had the gig for a number of years, and he's live in our studio. Hello, Nicholas.
So great to be here. Thanks for having me,
It's good to see you, my friend.
Yeah, it's really wonderful.
This is a great selection and a great idea for a show. This is the second show in their series of shows that'll go all the way through into early spring. Hooray for Hollywood. Great idea. Great idea. Talk about the genesis of doing music live with an orchestra from movies that you have probably seen.
Well, this is part of our facelift for the orchestra. You know, we excel so much in Beethoven and Brahms and the classics, and I call this season Music Reimagined. So we've done some work with an indie rock band. We did work with Encanto Arts for benefiting Latino students. And this is me demonstrating, or us demonstrating, that we can be more than that. We can actually do these movie scores, and it's looking like it's going to be a great show.
Why, first of all, let's talk about the selection. You're not only the conductor, but you're the musical director. So is that strictly your domain? What songs are we going to play in the order we're going to play them, or do you have some input from other people?
Yeah, that stuff on the podium when I'm waving my stick, that is like 1% of the game. The other 99% is procuring, choosing, getting guest artists, cajoling, marking the music, and making sure that we're all set up to make sure that we have a really good performance.
Speaking of music, Kendra Wheeler makes Sonny Rollins look like an amateur. She can blow a saxophone. She's coming in. She's been doing a number with you guys.
Kendra is an amazing artist and teacher. She's a new faculty member at Central Washington University, and we're featuring her on John Williams' Escapades, which is the backdrop to Catch Me If You Can.
So when you guys are getting ready to do the show, again, it's tomorrow night, each of the individual members of the orchestra, from the concertmaster violin all the way to the percussionist, do they get their sheet and their score and they rehearse and they rehearse and they practice their individual parts, and then it all comes together, hopefully?
This is a miracle. You know, they get their music probably 5 weeks out. They rehearse once about 3 weeks out, and then we rehearse 3 times this week, and then we're off and running, and that's the show. And sometimes that's really easy because the music is quite simple, but sometimes it's really, really difficult because the music's so complicated. This weekend is one of those times where it's really, really complicated, but it's really exciting. It's coming together.
And it's not the individual work of one composer. It's not just Bach or Beethoven or Shostakovich. This is all over the board.
Yeah, we got John Williams, we got Beethoven, we got Wagner, we got Justin Hurwitz, we got Michael Giacchino. This is all over the map. Alfred Newman. It's a really amazing show.
Does it help your players, your amazing, I want to say professionals, not really getting paid, but boy, you wouldn't know it by listening to them. Hey, we're playing a song from the movie Up.
Yes.
Can I just cue up my DVD and play that part and kind of get an idea? Does that help a little bit?
Yes. So I, in advance of these concerts, I give them some reference recordings and reference YouTube links so they can see what some other orchestras are doing with this piece and then look at their music, and that helps with their preparation as well.
Some of this music you're going to know very well if you've ever seen the classic, Stanley Kubrick's classic 2001: A Space Odyssey. You know the music there, Raging Bull, which I just love it. I just love it. And I love the fact that you're starting out with the 20th Century Fox fanfare, which everybody's familiar with.
Yes, and I did this little bit online where I showed a lot of these movies without the soundtrack.
Yes.
And it was just so amazing because there's a famous scene from the throne room from Star Wars where Luke Skywalker and Han Solo are getting their medals for achieving the blowing up of the Death Star. And we did it without music, and it was nothing. And you add John Williams' soundtrack, and it's glorious.
It is fantastic. Let's go program by program with Nick. Again, you start out with the 20th Century Fox fanfare, which is a great idea. And then from Inception, you go into a number there. So I talk about the pacing.
Yes.
I know pacing is very important.
Yes, so we're going to go with 20th Century Fox first. We're going to do music from Up. Then we're going to go to John Williams' score to Catch Me If You Can. This is a 3-movement piece called Escapades featuring Kendra Wheeler. Then we're going to do Beethoven's 7th Symphony, the slow movement, which was a backdrop for the King's Speech. And then we're going to do La La Land. And on La La Land, we've actually hired a trumpet player to play a cadenza that goes up to a high B. And he's only hired just for this. He's a specialist just to do this.
Is it a regular trumpet? Is it a piccolo trumpet? What is it?
It's a regular trumpet, and this guy is a specialist, let's just say. Then we'll do Also Sprach Zarathustra, which comes from the 2001 Space Odyssey. And then we'll get to The Dark Knight. Actually, I've replaced the music from Inception to do the Dark Knight music by Hans Zimmer. And by the way, Hans Zimmer doesn't read music, so he's doing this all by feel on his funny keyboard. And then we'll do some Wagner, and we'll do some Mascagni, which is the music that accompanied the Raging Bull film. And we're going to finish with this wild piece, Tom and Jerry at MGM. This thing is just like OCD and ADD on such a huge level. It just changes. Really fun, really difficult to play. Probably on the order of Stravinsky's Rite of Spring, but a really big blast for the orchestra.
Growing up with cartoons, you know, you're watching Warner Brothers cartoons and Tom and Jerry and stuff that you don't really know as a kid what the music is doing to the art side of it. Carl Stalling's a perfect example of that with the Warner Brothers stuff.
Yes.
If you just, you know, if you put on a cartoon and you don't watch it, you just close your eyes and listen to the music.
Yes.
There's a lot going on.
It's amazing what they do. The percussion section's asked to break plates, play with bubble tape or bubble wrap to make the sound of fire. They're supposed to snore. They're supposed to bark like a dog. And you know, these LA studio musicians, they're called like one day in advance. They get in there and they play these scores, really difficult scores, and they're in and out. It's amazing what they were able to do.
Do people have a general grasp of the kind of musical talent that your orchestra has? These are just folks. These are doctors and nurses and plumbers and accountants and retired people and just general people you're going to run in at Safeway, and yet for some strange, but boy, they when they have chosen their musical instrument, they're good.
this is this is a badge of honor for this orchestra. It's just these amazing people, role models in our community that come, and they're volunteers. They come every 4 times a year and play music because they love music, and they come from all, like you said, all corners of our community and come together and play this music. It's just very, very inspiring for me as a music director.
When the orchestra is performing, they're looking at their sheet music and they're looking at Nick. Nick's back is to the audience. How do you know you're getting an audience reaction when you can't look at the face and the lights, of course, so you can't really even see anybody? How do you know? How does a performer know that you're getting to somebody in that magical art that the music gets to me from an artistic standpoint more than any other piece of art? I don't care what it is. Music tops it all because it touches a part of you that can't be touched by any other. How do you know you're getting there?
Yeah, this is a sixth sense that, 1% of my job really is waving my hands, but I am reading my ensemble. I'm reading my group. I'm reading their face, their body language. I'm also reading the energy of the room, even, like a comedian might, or a TV host might do. But my back is to the audience, so I can feel their energy. I can feel that silence. I can feel their laughter. I can feel that applause. And sometimes my job as a conductor is not only just to show the musicians what the music is to show the audience what the music is.
You mentioned before your individual musicians have had their pieces of music for a little over a month. They've been rehearsing, they've been practicing their individual instrument, then it all comes together. When you're rehearsing as a full ensemble, a full orchestra, do you go a number all the way through? Then you say, okay, this missed this cue, or you were off this thing, or do you stop in the middle of a number and say, wait a minute, let's start again? How do you approach it from that perspective?
The best pacing is to, when you first get together, read the whole thing through, because the musicians just want to play. And then you talk about a few things. Well, this is we need to tune this chord. We need to adjust our pacing here. This thing needs to be louder than this thing. And once you do all those things and they write those notes, take another pass of the whole thing, and you're golden.
It should be pointed out that not only is the American Performing Arts Center a fantabulous facility, they spent some significant money, and you have a brand new sound system that you get to work with now. And from a musical purist like yourself, where the performance is important, but so is the listening experience, this has got to be just a blast for you.
We love our home, the PAC. They are so good. The staff is so good. Shout out to Mike Locke for all he does of that.
What's it like to have to mic up all of that stuff? For Mike Locke, who's a genius at this kind of stuff.
Yes.
That's got to be an unbelievable challenge.
Sound designers don't get enough credit. They think you should put a microphone on them and you're good to go. But there's so much we have to do. Our last concert with Ivan and Alyosha, that's indie rock band, we're miking an acoustic piano plus electric guitar and an acoustic guitar and then vocals and then an orchestra, string instruments, brass instruments, percussion instruments. Someone has to be really, really specific about how they capture all that sound and mix it.
It is, and of course, it's an orchestra, so the loudest instruments are in the very back and the quietest are in the front.
Right.
And that in and of itself is a challenge, because the loud instruments, if the microphones aren't placed correctly, could simply overwhelm the quieter instruments.
That's right, and I get the benefit also of having an earpiece, and so when we have an electronics type of concert, I have this feedback here in my ears, and I can tell what's going on. If I didn't have that, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference between the acoustic and the electronic instruments in our balance.
Almost out of time. Again, I don't know. It's Friday morning. It's live. This show may have sold out. I don't know. It's awfully close.
Yes, I think we're talking to exactly 11 people on this show right now. 11 people for whom, if they buy tickets right now, we will sell the show out.
Yeah. And real quickly, while I have you here, next on the agenda for the Wenatchee Valley Symphony Orchestra, my guess is into the holidays and
we're into the holidays. We're going to join forces with Fabulous Feet Studio and do our run of Nutcrackers, which are always sold out and always fun.
You guys could probably play the Nutcracker in your sleep at this point, couldn't you?
Yeah,
Not that they do.
I actually can do it from memory, which is it's just such a great score.
Nick, it's good to see you, buddy. How's the golf game?
Golf is good.
Yeah.
Yes, but it's over. The season's over.
I know. Nicholas Kali, the musical director and conductor of the Wenatchee Valley Symphony Orchestra. We're going to be visiting with this gentleman throughout the course of the season. And what do you tell you tell an actor to break a leg, which is a euphemism for have a good show? What do you tell a conductor?
We say toy toy. This is an old Italian thing. Just good luck.
Okay, there you go. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Mary Maid's custom cleaning experts help you clean up your to-do list. Between work, kids, and pets, it's hard to find time to keep up. Let Mary Maids of Wenatchee help. Mary Maid's cleaning experts can help keep your home or business fresh, neat, and exactly how you'd clean it, if only you had the time. Call now for a free estimate, 509-663-1710. Serving Chelan and Douglas counties, Mary Maids, let us help.
As Chelan's premier lifestyle store, Willow, find unique home decor, clothing, jewelry, and more. Come visit for a welcoming and memorable shopping experience.
Deepwater Electronics is your one-stop shop for the latest in TV and sound technology. Whether you build your home theater or let them do it for you, Deepwater Electronics is the clear choice.
The switch is on to T-Mobile. Get the best 5G experience and the customer service you depend on. Only at Chelan Wireless in downtown Chelan.
Check out ClubProCashmere.com for upcoming events and tickets.
Guten Sie mir das Problem sagen? Meinen Zylinder überschwingt. Flute, ich habe mein Fugen verloren. Keine Sorge.
Global Car Care. We speak your car's language.
Fragen schließen. Hey, you.
Well, I got a leaky transmission, my head gasket's shot, and I could use some new brake pads.
That dog don't hunt.
Global Car Care. We speak your car or truck's language.
All right, we are back with a couple of minutes after the hour. It's a couple of minutes to go. It's always good to see Nicholas and great people at the Wenatchee Valley Symphony Orchestra. I just brought up a couple of cameras from the Washington State Department of Transportation to see what the fog and the clouds are like out of the Columbia Basin. Now, when this show started about an hour ago, it wasn't like that in the Wenatchee Valley. It was starting to clear out. Now it's kind of settled back down again. As we show you this slide from the National Weather Service, I am looking at the live camera at the Grant County International Airport, and it is pea soup thick fog out there. You really can't see much of anything. I'm at Airport Road and some other places as well. Obviously out in Moses Lake right now, the clouds and the fog have not burned off. That's the same at Freight and a few other locations. So if you like to see where you're going when you're driving, and most people do, you might want to wait another hour or so, maybe even a little bit longer as the sun gets higher in the sky, begin to warm up, and some of this fog and low clouds begin to burn off. And I'm looking out in the Columbia Basin. It does not look like it's a very fun out there. As far as what we have from Mother Nature's perspective for the Wenatchee Valley, for the next 7 days, once the fog burns off, folks, we're going to see some sunshine. It's going to happen. Oh, I don't know, another hour, hour and a half or so, we'll start seeing some sunshine. Quite a bit of sunshine this afternoon. We'll top off at 50, which is about normal. And then the rain. The rain event, the first one of several, will be midnight tonight to about noon on Saturday. That 12-hour window, we're going to have quite a bit of rain. Not heavy rain, but steady, consistent rain. Overnight low tonight of about 45. The rain should be done by about noon on Saturday, they tell us. So we could be dry for the football game. We're hoping so. Tomorrow's high of about 53. Then the next rain event comes Sunday night into Monday with more rain. Good chance of rain. Monday night, it's going to rain. and probably Tuesday as well. Have a great weekend, everybody, and start your Monday with us. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.
The school district has 3 school board races up for decision this November. One of the candidates for one of those races joins me today, Martin Barron, running at large. Having spent 4 years on the board during a really tumultuous period, what do you feel like you've learned about steering a family of schools that you could then bring to another term?
I'm going to begin almost that it's more work than you realize, but you get back to a board needs to be collegial and work as a group. Statute-wise, our only authority is as a group. And in order to do that, you have to treat everybody with respect, and you also have to recognize how to work to something that is either a consensus or close to it, and take joint responsibility for it. And once we've